I came back home with a wedding dress to surprise my boyfriend, only to find him engaged to a woman who had surgically altered her face to look like me. I returned to Illinois in secret, clutching my wedding dress, a symbol of the promise Jason Gray and I had made 3 years ago. My heart raced with anticipation as I approached the venue of our long-awaited reunion. Instead of the romantic encounter I had imagined, I stumbled into a nightmare. Jason stood there, his hand entwined with another woman's. It wasn't just any woman. She was my mirror image, a carbon copy. They were in the middle of their engagement ceremony. The moment her tearful eyes met mine, she froze, then broke into sobs. Without another word, she fled the hall, tripping over her own feet as though escaping a ghost. Jason turned to me, fury etched into his handsome features. Amutal, why did your face have to look like that? He snapped, pure, making everyone uncomfortable. His words stung like icy daggers. Before I could respond, the man I once trusted dashed after his Mons bride, leaving me stranded and humiliated. The crowd was relentless. Fingers, pointed whispers turned into mocking laughter, and I became the evening's entertainment. My so-called friends' familiar faces that once smiled at me didn't even attempt to hide their disdain. Did you have to come back and ruin everything? It'd have been better if you had stayed dead abroad. The moment you step back in, you stir up chaos like a storm. Apologize and repent, or you are no longer my friend. Disgust filled their eyes, but I didn't flinch. I let their words fall like raindrops on a shield of indifference. Without another glance, I dialed my mother's number. Mom, I said, my voice steady and cold. Oh, well, I will accept the marriage proposal from the Moore family. The room fell into stunned silence as I walked out, leaving their gossip and judgment behind. These so-called friends weren't worth the effort. I returned to the house Jason and I had once shared, 6 years of memories locked behind its door. I hadn't been back in 3 years, but stepping inside felt like trespassing in someone else's life. The master bedroom was unrecognizable. My belongings were gone, replaced by someone else. Flowery perfume lingered in the air. A pair of lace underwear and men's boxers were tossed carelessly on our bed. The audacity stung right on cue. My phone rang. Jason, do you have any idea what you've done? He barked the moment I picked up. Real been hiding this from Paula for so long. Why did you have to show yourself now? I bit back a bitter laugh, my voice calm and cutting. Rue, have you forgotten our 3-year promise? Silence stretched on the line. Murray surfaced. The day I left for my studies abroad. Jason had hugged me tightly, tears streaming down his face. Master, I'll wait for you. He had promised her, when you come back, I will give you the grandest wedding ever. He finally spoke, his voice softer but still dripping with condescension. But you need to understand, Paula has suffered too much because of you. You need to beg for her forgiveness. Only then can we have a chance. His charity-like tone was laughable. I let out a dry chuckle. What's so funny? He demanded, irritation seeping through. Before I could respond, I heard her voice on the other end of the call. It was soft, trembling, and dripping with pitiful sweetness. So, Jason, when I really am just a stand-in, aren't I? You promised you would marry me. I heard the panic in his voice as he dropped the phone, scrambling to reassure her. Mazdidor, no, Paula, you were beautiful. You were the only one for me. I'd never marry her. 2 denials. The words pierced deeper than any blade. I hung up, refusing to listen to another second of their ridiculous performance. That night, Jason finally came home. The door creaked open, and when he saw me sitting there, he froze, startled. How did you get in here? He asked, his voice cold. Thank you. Where did you get the key? He'd forgotten I was the one who had turned this house into a home. I chose the furniture, I decorated every corner, and I had the keys made. Realization flickered in his eyes, but he quickly masked it with a forced smile from behind his back. He pulled out a small velvet box. Look at this, he said, opening it to reveal a ring. Wailed. I had this Cusnaze just for you. He grabbed my hand, his touch gentle but calculated, and moved to slide the ring onto my finger. You owe Paula too much, he murmured. And I don't want an apology from you. This is enough. The audacity. The sheer audacity made me want to laugh all over again. Was this the man I once loved? Go get plastic surgery?